Welcome to another film review. Today's film will be Hardcore Henry. It's a very different film to Batman vs Superman, which was the last film I reviewed. Um, but yeah, it's different is the only word I think that can describe this film at all. So, Hardcore Henry is an 18 rated film. It's full of violence, and then surprisingly quite a lot of violence, shockingly as that may be. Um, The entire film is shot in first person. It is shot where the actor wears a GoPro camera on himself the entire film. So you are seeing the first person perspective the entire time, which is cool. You're Henry. This is the main person in the film. You don't ever see Henry, or actually you see him once at the end of the film, but that is only a brief glimpse in a piece of shattered glass. And basically you're experiencing and seeing the entire film through his eyes and his experiences along the way. Anyway, the plot is slightly strange. You're kind of a mix between Action Man and RoboCop, which together is like what, Roboman, Action Cop, whatever you want to call it. You awake at the beginning of the film to a slightly horrific injury where you've lost an arm and a leg. You've left your left arm and your left leg. So you're on a table, you're having surgery, you are being replaced with a biometric left arm and a biometric left leg, and the woman doing the surgery claims to be your wife. I bet you're confused already, because I was. It was very confusing. So Henry's tasked basically with avoiding death at every turn. The main villain as such in this film wants to turn people into super soldiers and fight on his behalf. It's very confusing, obviously. Henry himself only really has one person he can rely on during the film, and that is a man named Jimmy, who is played by Sharlto Copley, who you might have seen in the A-Team film, District 9 or Elysium, which are all very good films. He has more outfit changes in this than a Vegas showgirl, so as you can tell, he's a lot of different characters, and he's about as mad as a box of frogs. So it makes for a good story straight away, obviously. As the film starts, it being shot in first person. It's a refreshing way of doing things, and it's innovative. But after about 15 minutes, your head starts to hurt because the camera's very shaky, and the action sequences. It's hard to keep up with what's happening because obviously you're looking at it, so you're not seeing the entire action sequence. You're just seeing the perspective of Henry. So it's something. The prologue to the film's a little bit confusing. The opening scene is baffling, and the first 20 minutes make you wonder kind of what you've gotten yourself in for. It's that kind of film, you have to bear that first 20 minutes. Admittedly, went and saw it at the cinema, and after about 20 minutes, I think 5 people had walked out. And there wasn't that many people in the actual theatre itself, there was only about 20, so that was a quarter of the audience gone straight away. So, says a lot about this film, doesn't it? Our guide, Jimmy / Sharlto Copley, sends us on a number of gruesome and escalatingly horrendous missions in order to, first of all, obtain machinery to keep Henry alive, because now that he's biometric, he has a battery life as such. He's kind of like the Durex bunny without the Durex. Duracell? Durex? Durex is not a battery type. Duracell is a battery type. Do not Google Durex, kids. That is not what you want to be doing. The Duracell bunny, not Durex bunny. Good God, that's a big mistake. I'm just gonna leave that in there. I didn't even cut that out. That was quality. So he's kind of like the Duracell bunny. So he needs to be kept alive by a power source, which he has to go and obtain off of another robo-type human. And that invokes about a 20-minute action sequence. There's a lot of parkour. The parkour sequences in this film are very good because it's a first-person parkour, and that I enjoyed. And then, second of all, he is given missions by Jimmy to stop Akan, who is the villain, and basically try and get his wife back, who has been kidnapped by Akan. This is a very confusing film, believe me. It just baffles the mind after 20 minutes. And, it just tries to make Henry better himself, I suppose. The opening chapter is... the opening chapters consist of a lot of leaping and climbing, and it leads to a lot of violence. There's violence in a strip club, sort of naked women in there. There's violence down the stairwells, like grenades thrown and fired, shots. He dives through windows. He bashes his way through traffic like a pinball. It's just a very mixy-matchy film. They've tried really hard in one area to try and make the first-person version suit the film, but at the same time they've tried to put in enough action that it's not first-person and you'd expect to be watching it from a distance to see the full effect of it all. So, you know, they hit a lot of points, but they missed a lot of points in this film as well. It was very much that they could have done a lot better, but they've attempted something very new and fresh, and obviously there's going to be points where they fail, but it's the first of what could be a new breed of film type, so, you know, you've got to give them credit for trying. It's a risky film, but at the same time, like I say, the first person thing hasn't really been done that I know of in a full-length film. It's been done in music videos, and it's been done in maybe like other things, but never as a full 90-minute film where you only get the first person view. The film itself, I think, would lack personality and a comical edge if Sharlto Copley wasn't in it. He does bring that comical edge and a lot of charisma and wit. He's very entertaining. I think he's a very good actor. I was very excited when I found out that he was in this film. And I'm a very big fan of his, especially when he was Murdoch in the A-Team. And District 9, I think, is an amazingly good and very underrated film. So I would go and see that if you haven't seen it. But yeah, he really helps to save this film and make it interesting, to be honest. It's not until many... I mean, he has about 6 different characters within the first half an hour of this film, and it's not until about an hour in that you realise how he's all these characters, how he keeps getting killed, and how he keeps coming back to life all of a sudden. So that's a pretty interesting plot twist, and yeah, I mean, it's like I say, I think kind of saves this film and makes it worthwhile to go and see. As overall as films go, I enjoyed it. Parts were good, obviously parts weren't great. The storyline didn't really follow itself as such. It kind of, I think the storyline was confused to what the storyline was supposed to be. So it had its good points, it had its bad points. Can't really complain. It was, I'd say, it was a solid 3-star film. Like I say, the first-person idea is a really good idea. The camera work was a little bit shoddy, obviously being shot with a GoPro, but if you think that this is the first of a new wave, then fair play to it. Sharlto Copley made this film bearable at times. He made it comical. He made it enjoyable. So he did a really good job in that. Tim Roth is in this film for all of 2 minutes. Again, big fan of Tim Roth. Wish he'd been in it longer, but unfortunately he wasn't. But yeah, like I say, 3 stars. It's a solid mark. I'd see the film again. It's not getting great reviews online. Places like Rotten Tomatoes have only given it a 51%, and a lot of critics have panned it for being overly violent. But there is violence, and there maybe is too much violence at times. But at the end of the day, it is an 18. You know what you're letting yourself in for, and you've just got to kind of enjoy it for what it is and for what it brings to the table. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'll leave this. Hopefully this helps you if you were thinking about going to see the film or have seen the film and would like to share your comments too. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be more film reviews in the future, and until then, so yeah.